Once you've found a video, it's time to edit your video by adding content to it using the Edpuzzle tools. So go ahead and access your video. There's a couple ways to start editing. You can click the check mark next to the video and select the edit button, or you can simply click play. It will open up to a preview window, and then on the far right bottom, you can select edit as well. Once you click edit, you'll be taken to the Edpuzzle editing toolbar. We notice we have a handful of features. Our first option is to cut and trim the video. We can add a voiceover only to certain videos, and we can add questions to any video. Let's take a look at cutting and trimming. So we see we can cut and trim from the ends. So if I want to trim this video so that I can only display the relevant portions of the video to my students, I can do it in this way. I can trim from the front
and
by clicking and dragging
call it
the front. So the video will start here as opposed to the very beginning, and I can play to preview it. And I can also click and drag the end. Let's say that I want to chop off the last part of this video and close it off there. Additionally, I can make cuts in the middle of the video. So if I select this portion of the video and I want to cut it right here, maybe I want to exclude some content that's in the middle of the video that's not relevant to the students. I can add a cut, and then I can apply the same editing features. I can click and hold, and I can drag it that way to cut this portion of the video out. So we can see how this functions once I click play right in front of the cut. We'll see what happens.
You will see that this is going to generate a line.
Skip over this area.
In fact, let me connect these dots, and you will see try to connect the dots
and see how it skipped over that area. So that's the experience for the students. It'll skip over content or ignore content from the front and the back that you choose to cut out. And that's trimming and cutting. Our second option is to select a voiceover. So if we click voiceover, now the only caveat with voiceovers is that voiceovers is not allowed to be used with any YouTube videos that you use. So in actuality, most of the videos that you may use to distribute content to students are probably going to be from YouTube. This is similar if you choose from National Geographic or Khan Academy. You're not going to be able to apply voiceovers because it violates YouTube's copyright services. And you know what a voiceover would look like. Let's say that you upload your own video. Let's say you use Screencastify to record your screen. You upload your screencast to Edpuzzle, and you want to add a voiceover to your own videos that you do upload. This is what that would look like. So here's a video that I've taken and I've uploaded myself. If I click voiceover, I'm given the option to start recording. And so I can start recording. Hello, this is my voiceover. And I notice that it's marked in yellow for my voiceover. So I have one voiceover here and one voiceover here. Let's go ahead and see what that sounds like.
Because it shows a politician and a group of
Yes, hello, how are you? This is a voiceover. First voiceover.
Next,
start recording. Hello, this is my voiceover. So the voiceover would be really good if there's no audio at all on this video, and then I can apply it through a voiceover. Or it's nice if somebody else made the video, like a colleague at a different site. Yeah, you can choose to copy that video in Edpuzzle and then add your own voiceover. If you add a voiceover, it will overwrite any existing audio in that video. So those are a couple things to know about that. Let's go ahead and head back to our Edpuzzle here. We notice as we start adding cuts and voiceovers, we notice that they start populating over here into a timeline mode. So we have them here. It doesn't matter if there are already questions here. So this is somebody else's YouTube video. So we're going to go to questions now. I can add multiple choice, open-ended, and I can add a note, either an audio or text. Now this one already has questions on it because I took it from somebody else. So if I click this question, if I want to delete a question that somebody else has created, I can just simply delete this question at any point that I want. And let's say that here's a question that was already on here. Let's say that I want to modify this. I can go ahead and I can click edit, and I can edit any of the questions that other people have already put onto this Edpuzzle, so I can make it my own. And I would go ahead and click save to save those changes. If I want to add a new question, I would simply move the cursor to where I want the question to be added. At that point, I would go ahead and click questions. And let's say I want to add a multiple choice question. I have several options to add multiple choice questions. Please keep note of the toolbar at the top. I have some formatting I can use here. I can also insert a hyperlink. So I can insert hyperlinks into my questions if I want to by pasting the URL. Whatever URL is there, I would click OK, and it would create a hyperlink. So great for adding resources. I can also add an image. So I can upload an image from my desktop, or I can use a URL of an image on the website to place as part of the question. I can also choose what's called FX here, and I can actually insert an equation. So if I wanted to insert an equation as it relates to what I'm learning here, I can do that either using the chemical formulas that I see here or the mathematical equations and formulas that I see here as well. And this toolbar is available not only for the question itself, but also the answer choices that you give. So you can type in, your answer choices, and maybe you can make your answer choices questions and equations and things like that as well, beyond simply having just text. Additionally, with multiple choice, you can offer feedback. So if you want to offer quick formative feedback, notice when I click the word feedback, it turns orange, and this is where I would type my feedback to the student, and the student would get this feedback immediately once they did make a selection on this question. To go back to question mode, I would simply click question, and now I can modify my question in this way. If I want to add other answer choices, I would do so in this way here by clicking this icon that says add another question choice. Once I have all my question choices here, I'm going to have to tell it which one is the correct answer. And so what I'm simply going to do is this X means that they're wrong. I'm simply going to click the X and turn it to the check mark. And so answer choice number 1 would be my correct answer. And at that point, I can click save. So that's how to use the question feature. The next question I may want to make
Look at the line.
Could be an open-ended question. So if I do an open-ended question, you would just type your question here, and then you'd have all the same functionality with the toolbar for subscripts and superscripts, hyperlinks, images, and equations, as well as bold, italics, and underlined as well. And then you can include feedback for students to guide them on this open-ended question as well. So go ahead and type any feedback you want students to immediately receive upon submitting this question. Go ahead and click save. Our next type,
well, let's verify that.
Let's say that this portion of the video needs a little bit more explanation, or I want the students to pause and I want to give them some information right here. I would use a note for that. So under questions, I'm going to select note. And a note can simply be a resource. It can be new information. It can be, paraphrasing information in the video, any information you want to give your students about what they're watching to support their learning in this way. And again, the toolbar is the same. You can use all of the functionality in this toolbar as you can with the multiple choice and open-ended questions. Lastly, with the note, beyond just a text note, you can add an auditory note. And so if I click the icon right here, I'm recording right now, and I'm going to give my students an auditory note. What this will do is it'll pause the video. They'll be able to read the text, but also they'll be able to hear an explanation that I'm giving them. I'm going to go ahead and stop that. I can preview it and play it if I want to, or I can simply click save if I'm happy with it. It'll take a while to process the auditory information, and then it'll be set to go. When the student comes to this point in the video, they will see a pause, they'll see the text information, and they'll see a place where they can click play and listen to my information. The icon right here, I'm recording right now, and I'm going to give my students an auditory note. What this will do is it'll pause the video, and we get the idea. Go ahead and click continue. And so that's how you're going to add cuts, voiceovers, and questions to your Edpuzzle video to customize it to the way that you like. Once you're finished, you can go ahead to the top right and click finish. We do notice that saved changes are made automatically here. So I'm going to be done with this, and I'm ready to deliver this to my students, and I'm going to click finish. Once I click finish, it takes me to a preview page where I can preview it. I can assign it immediately. I can edit it further. I can make a copy of it. I can share a preview with this for colleagues. So maybe I want to send this over to colleagues and say, hey, check this video out real quick. You can go ahead and share a preview by clicking copy link and sending this to your colleagues. I can delete it, and then I have a choice down here to make this public, in which case other Edpuzzle users can search for it within the Edpuzzle community, or I can make it private and make it private only to me. If we go back to Edpuzzle, we do see in the home page, under my content, that here's the video right here. It has 7 questions. If I go back to it, we notice that it has all the changes that I've made right over here. So that's how you use the Edpuzzle toolbar to customize and make your Edpuzzle video lesson.